Welcome to Airsoft Answers TV. In this episode, we're going to be answering the most infamous question asked in Airsoft. What gun should I get? One of the most popular questions asked by airsofters today is, what gun should I get? Well, today we're going to put that question to rest. So, Crazy NC Man, Airsoft Answers, they're always getting this question. Too many airsofters ask this question. So, today we're going to be giving you tips on how to buy your gun, what you should be looking for in your gun, and what qualities should fit under the price ranges of each gun. There are 4 basic classifications of airsoft guns that we'll be getting to today. The first one is the $100 range. These guys typically have plastic parts, plastic bodies, plastic foregrips. This one doesn't. It'll have just plastic exteriors, maybe a few metal parts. Internals are going to be metal, but they are going to not be well shimmed, well lubed, and they're going to need to be upgraded later on. The next price range we're going to be looking at, $150 range. These guys typically have more metal parts, but they are pot metal, so you still need to be gentle with them. The polymers are going to be just a little bit nicer, fewer wobbles, wiggles, and other things that you need to be concerned about. They'll typically last longer than the $100 range, but they will not perform as high as higher classes. The next gun range that we're going to be looking at is the $200 range. These guys typically have more aluminum parts in them, aluminum upper receivers, polymer lower receivers, polymer stocks, and the internals are going to be much more better shimmed and lubed, but again, they will not perform as high as the $300 gun range, which is our final range. These guys are almost often times LiPo ready out of the box. At least KWAs are. VFCs, Classic Armies, they're all going to be a very, very high quality choice, high performance, and in any case that you'll be getting, they will perform admirably in the field. And now, a word from our sponsors.
In today's tough economy, the only option that you have to save money on your airsoft equipment is Mil-Spec Airsoft.
Our first question this week was asked by JC Airsoft 88 in Tennessee. He asks, do you like the battery in the handguard or in the crane stock? I don't like crane stock batteries. They pinch wires, they're a pain to get in and out. I just don't like them. I'll either take them in the handguard or a full stock, either way. Aphis27 writes in and asks, I'm aware you don't use one, but how necessary is a secondary, i.e. a pistol? When you're playing CQB, a pistol is an absolute great backup weapon to have. A machine pistol is even better. When you're in the field, not so much, but if your replica chrono is too hot for CQB, i.e. more than 350 feet per second, then you're definitely going to want a secondary or a backup. If you're under the limit, then there's really no need for it. Spetsnaz Paintball writes in and asks, what do you think is the most important piece of tack gear? Oh my gosh, great question. A sling is the most necessary piece of equipment you will ever carry out into the field. I mean, you can do without extra magazines. You can shoot less. You can play with fewer batteries. You can even go without hydration for a little bit. But if you ever want to never break your gun, use a frickin' sling. You can be out there, you can trip, your replica goes flying, you need proper weapon control, and a sling is that safety guarantee that you don't break that $500 KWA, even though I've never seen a $500 KWA break. Skato HD asked, CO2 or green gas? Skato HD, stay tuned. We're going to be doing a show on this next week. I was going to plan it for this week, but just wanted to devote more time to this show. So stay tuned. Next week, CO2 versus green gas, CO2, red gas. We're going to give you the truth, broadcast it to the whole frickin' community so everybody knows what our opinion is on it. U.S. Airsoft Team from Hannibal, Missouri writes in and asks, would you prefer the new plug-in MOSFETs, or would it be better to have the open up your gearbox soldered in old MOSFETs? U.S. Airsoft Team, great question. I actually got the Burst Wizard. I like the plug-and-play feature of it. I like the fact I can switch it in and out of AEGs. What I don't like about it is the fact it's just a little bit bulky and that I'm constantly trying to finagle it in. I'm dealing with wires, and even though it's small, I'm still dealing with it in there, and there's a greater chance that it'll break and that my investment will go down the drain. The advantage of the solder into your gearbox MOSFETs are that you don't really need to worry about them once they're in there, but the biggest problem is you have to pay to get them in there. So My opinion of it is the plug and play is great if you're on a budget. If you want more long-term, extensive, definitely get the solder in. I don't think the plug and plays are a replacement for the solder ins, but they definitely have their advantages over it, and you're going to have to make that choice depending on your play style. Ireland Airsoft sent in this next question. I'm pretty much addicted to Airsoft at the moment. All my friends think it's a waste of money. What do you think? What do I think? I video this. I'm going to be thinking Airsoft isn't a waste of time. My advice to you is to get your friend out there into the field. Loan him one of your guns, do whatever you can, get him out in the field. It'll change his mind if he's not a stick in the mud. Espis14 writes in from Norway and asks, high caps, mid caps, which one do you want? Well, Espis, I like mid caps. I like mid caps a lot. They have their advantages. They can carry a reasonable amount of ammunition without actually having that rattle sound. However, I carry high caps out into the field with me unless otherwise told I can't. I carry as many of them as I can, simply because I have way more firepower with the high caps than I do with the mid caps. So if you don't want nearly as much battle rattle, go with the mids. If you want all the firepower you can get, go with the high caps. Trust me. I go out with 4 high caps, and I beat guys who have chest rigs of mid caps. McFluffer1 sent this question in last week, and it needs to be answered. His question was, I'm turning 13 in May, and I want an airsoft gun, but my grandmother says it's not safe. Is it or not? To McFluffer1, airsoft comes with its inherent risks. I mean, you're shooting BBs upwards of 600 feet per second at each other, so mind your grandmother, okay? She says it's not safe, it's not safe. To McFluffer's grandmother, rather, it can be a very safe sport as long as proper safety precautions are taken. Namely, you have to have eye pro. If you don't have proper eye protection, like a full face mask, you run the risk of having teeth knocked out, eyes put out, and otherwise general misfortune to your life. Definitely want a paintball mask for somebody as young as 13. Later on, shooter's goggles are okay, shooter's glasses are fine, but for full face protection, you're going to want a paintball mask. Thank you for watching Airsoft Answers. Don't forget to subscribe to us. Tune in next week for our next show. I'm Reno. You're learning. This is Airsoft Answers.